Now we got some rain, and we're supposed to get some more, so I'm still leaving my traps, but tomorrow might be a real hard day to check. All right, y'all, so this is where I've been dealing with these big beavers I haven't been able to get, and I have a snare running through this center, and sure enough, picked up a big one. So I'm gonna get it dispatched and show you what it looks like. But it looks like quite a girthy one. Well, guys, I want to show you the importance of swivels. This may very well be the biggest beaver I've ever got. Got him right behind the shoulders like we're aiming for, but he's got a big old body on him. Big old tail, been through war. Anyway, where I had this thing anchored off in the ground, this is what it looks like. Yeah, that's how much he spun and twisted. So it's good to have swivels even on your snare. So yeah, I'm gonna get all this junk taken off this metal, put the metal on my tote, and see how I'm gonna get this thing out of here. I'll weigh it. I'll put the measurement in the video, but if it's not my biggest, it's close. It's close. So stoked. There's probably one more big one in here, and I'm hoping we'll pick him up in the next day or two. So stay tuned. All right, so I just weighed this beaver. It's 48.4 pounds. So I still have yet to break the 50-pound mark, but by a couple tenths, this is my biggest beaver. So yep, noticed when I was checking it out, it's missing one of its toes. Looks like it's been gone for a while. Who knows, could have got pinched in a trap before, I don't know. But I always like seeing their tails and how much they just fight. So I know there's one more big one down there, so we'll be looking for. Oh, it's missing the toenail over here too. Yep, nipples, big female. So we'll see if her boyfriend's in there. And caught a couple of the kits, but if I catch another big one like this, I'll pull from that location. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'm not going to go through the whole process of skinning this. I'm just going to show you some of the things that I take out. I use a lot out of a beaver. I mean, obviously the fur, you can sell the skull. People make things out of the tail. The meat's good to eat. The castor and the oil sacs are good for bait, and the meat's good for bait. I mean, pretty much out of all your animals that you can trap in Pennsylvania, this one's got the most bang for its buck in my opinion. So yeah, I'll show you once it's broken down what I keep. So we got the fur. It's a huge fur. I'm going to take the back straps out and give them to somebody, but we got all this meat, the skull, and then I like to use the feet for bait for coyotes and fisher, and then obviously the tail, we can use that and chop it up for fat and for bait. So yes, lots of things come with the beaver. I almost forgot the casters and the oil sacks. I'm going to use them as bait for other beavers. I have another job I'm starting soon, so that'll be perfect for that. All right, so I'm in this marsh, got traps put up. Right here underneath this tree I got a snare. So it looks like a really good spot where they swim through. I'm trying to get over there. That looks like an area I should try to be, but in this marsh I'm not seeing where they're living, but up there there's numerous huts. I'll show you guys that here in a minute because it's kind of strange. Here's the dam, which is holding back a lot of water. What's happened here at this place, way down there was beavers, and then they just kept moving in this direction. So the further you go that way, the less they're taking care of their stuff. Up here obviously there's a beaver. I caught one beaver up there. It was I can't remember if it was 44 or 46 pounds. I put it in the video. That's where I snared a beaver underneath. Since then it's been quiet, but I keep seeing evidence of beavers moving around. Now in this part of the marsh, I'm trying to figure out if I should get some traps in here. I've got a caster over there on a snare, and then I got underneath the tree. But what I'm going to do is go over on this side. When I come in the morning, if it's a frosty morning, this mostly will be frozen, but over there on that edge, it won't be. So if they're moving anywhere, that's where I believe it's happening. So I'm going to try to get over there, get kind of close, see if I can't put a snare or a caster, or just something over there where I think they're using it more often, just to get a better opportunity. Then I'll kind of show you what I consider their hut, the situation I got going on up there. It's pretty weird, so we'll get to it. All right, I'm going to do my best to show this. So under this water right here where it gets tight, there's a root ball kind of sticking out in this direction. So there's one spot where it's pretty obvious they're going through. So what I'm going to try to do is stick this snare. What I'll do is I wire this snare to a stick just like this, and there's I can't remember what gauge, but a pretty thin gauge wire holding that. Now, when something goes through, it'll go off, but it helps me to be able to set it without this thing falling apart so terribly. So I'll take that stick and I will put it where I need it to go. Let me see how deep this is. Okay. That actually went in pretty good. And then what I'll do is, however, you obviously got to anchor it. So sometimes I anchor to the dirt if I have it, but here I'm going to be able to anchor to that tree. And then what I'll do is I'll take a stick, put it over there to prevent him from going that way, and then I'll lay a stick across the top here to get him to dive. So the plan is, if a beaver's traveling through here, which it looks like they do, they dive underneath that. It's pretty common to them. They should be able to get to this one, dive through right where I want them, and yeah, I'll make that catch. So that's the plan. We shall see if it works. Well, something smashed my casserole down. Can't quite tell what it is. Oh, I'm gonna check right here. Looks like it could be the front one of a beaver or muskrat or something. I'm not seeing like that back foot, but I'm gonna reset it. I got my snare right there in front of it. It must just not have gone that way. So it might have came from this direction here, or it could have been something else and came from behind. Maybe what I should do is lay a stick or something here, or stick over there, just to get them to not go that way and get them to go this way. Was it a deer? Nah. All right, let's get it fixed back up. All right, I was able to find something, threw it in just like that. Sometimes I've realized just being super chaotic is all you need. So we'll see if that snare makes a catch in the next couple of days. All right, I'm gonna do this next part on my phone because I think it'll make more sense. So this to me is where the obvious hut is. They got a mound of dirt right there. They've been working on stuff. There's clear indications of them going in and out. So I don't have nothing there. But as I'm looking around right here, it's definitely a den entrance. And then right, it's all muddy, but I got a 330 in front of it. I thought this right down here below in the water might be a den entrance. So this is the snare that I caught that first beaver on, which makes sense because he would leave from this area, go to swim that way towards their dam that they have, and get caught. So I still have the snare there, but I'm thinking, since that one got caught, nothing happened. So I think maybe there could be one living in there. This has got messed up a couple times, like something come through and avoided the snare. So I put a 330 there, we'll see. But I mean, that's the structure, so I'm trying to stay away from it. But all these other holes, I mean, I don't know if they're bank dens. What's strange here, this is a very small creek that feeds this. So this last summer when the drought came, it really affected this area, and the beavers weren't moving around much. I actually thought they left. But then I realized they moved up here to the head of the stream, which is not big at all. It's maybe 1.5 feet wide. And they just started building stuff. So my thought is that maybe this is 2 adults and some kits. And they're just smart, because I know people have tried trapping these before, and I caught the one female. So I assume there's still one more big adult in here. And yeah, we'll see. I don't have much time left in the season, so we'll see what happens. In my opinion, they almost have this thing a complete marsh.